Hello everyone, I am Anna.
And I'm Tudor.
We are a couple that left Paris on 1st of March and went traveling around the world to interview and document innovative learning communities. This is the weekly update number 10, and it's been 10 weeks since we are on the road, and we interviewed 20 projects and we went to 10 countries in Europe. So based on this experience, we would like to share with you some lessons learned and our next steps.
So the first lesson that we learn is that the learning process is pretty much focused within the buildings, like physical spaces, and there is not enough work done with parents and the immediate child community to kind of blur boundaries of learning experiences and combine what happens in kindergarten or school with everyday life activities.
Another one is self-awareness crisis. We noticed that there are lack of holistic human development happening in different learning spaces, like in schools or in other institutions that are mostly focused on the mind and less on other forms of intelligence, like, I don't know, spirituality, emotions, body. So we think this is in nowadays it's a problem because of the automation and because of this AI era. People should be self-aware of what they can do about their potential, and they have to have a self-aware direction in life too.
Yeah. The third part is the whole area of self-organized learning, e-learning, lifelong learning, and all these terms, meaning basically more than ever there are opportunities to self-organize our education, but this space is very chaotic, is not organized, people don't get recognition for their learning experiences and so on. And we need to do more work in terms of building tools, training, and building awareness of how people can organize their own education as individuals, but also come together in communities and develop their own learning path. And based on these free experiences, we kind of designed or reformed a bit Experiment Q with 3 actions that we will do in the coming months. So the first one is the podcast. This is the core to Experiment Q, what we've done since the very beginning. But we've noticed it's impossible for 2 people to cover all the innovations in education, to travel alone for 12 months with the backpacks and figure all the logistics while documenting and sharing quality stories. So from this month on, we'll continue publishing 1 episode per week as a team, but crowdsource the rest to the community. So building toolkits and ways to help local educators and journalists to go in their country to look for innovative educators and to interview them locally, which then that story ends up in the main podcast distributed online and so on. So the format is changing, and we're looking forward to working with local educators and journalists all over the world.
Based on all the interviews that we've done so far and the ones that we will do, we will keep updating our library, and we will extract useful resources and powerful tools for self-organized learners.
And the third one is we actually want people to both listen to the interviews and use those tools in the library. And for this, inspired by peer-to-peer university, we want to organize small local groups where people come together and they help each other to design their own education. They keep track, they share feedback, and they support each other on the personal learning path. So you can imagine the next stage of Experiment Q as a funnel. We have stories and interviews from which we extract tools, from which we try to organize local communities to use those tools. And the big vision at Experiment Q, as always, has been to help make lifelong learning a social standard, a norm for every single person and for communities out there. And what's next for us?
For us is We will transit for the next weeks. We'll prepare our transition to Amsterdam. So we'll work on Experiment Q based on Amsterdam, in Amsterdam, and with a job on the side. And
Yeah, so besides the upcoming episodes that you'll see on Instagram and social media, you'll also get some pictures of our backstage routine of moving to Amsterdam, finding a flat, maybe finding a space where we can record the podcast if it's not in our flat, and so on. So with this, we actually want to, this is kind of the end of our travel period in this project, and we want to share our gratitude to all the patrons, to all the friends who donated personally on experimentq.org, for all the partners such as Cree, 100, Evernote, the city of Paris, and many more amazing organizations and people who offered their support and help in the last few months.
so thank you everyone for following us on social media as well, and for your encouraging words and for your likes and shares.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's important to notice that it's not the end of the project. We started with one idea, we change it to something else, but we continue working, we continue bringing stories about innovative learning communities. So please subscribe, share this video, share, connect and share the stories on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. And let's make lifelong learning something normal, something that we can organize for ourselves and be proud of our results. Thank you.
Thank you.